But science has gotten down to the bottom of a big debate. Did you see it?
No.
The bottom of a big debate.
Wait, is this with your butt?
Whose farts smell worse? Men or women?
No. We're talking farts again?
This is our show, isn't it? What else would we talk about?
Are they saying they did this study between men and women and they found out who is worse?
Yes, because this debate has raged on for years.
Women.
Okay. Yes and no.
See, I hadn't even seen this and I got it right.
There are no winners here. Apparently women's flatulence does smell worse. However, men release a lot more gas per toot. So in the end, it ended up being a wash because they couldn't pick which one they preferred. One was stinkier, but the other one, there's just so much more gas in there that they couldn't handle the longevity of it.
Wow. I have a question to start this one.
Yes.
Do you ever take something so literally that embarrasses you because then you feel like the biggest dummy in the entire world?
You're going to need to be way more specific. I don't know.
Recently had some plumbing work done. And I have to set this up by saying my plumber, he's an old friend from high school. So, I mean, we're more like brothers than, customers.
Okay.
Call him for all my plumbing needs. He's great. It's Bethany Plumbing, shameless plug.
Okay.
Had him come out and do something. And I mean, it took him like, I don't know, not even 5 minutes.
Right.
In and out, done.
Yeah.
And I said, so what I owe you? And he said, $1.25. So.
You really thought you owed him $1.50 and not $150?
It was $1.25.
You know what that means. You're old enough to know that means $125.
Yes. Okay. But I didn't. At that moment, I was the biggest dummy ever. I handed him a $10 bill and said, "Here, keep the change."
No, that's not going to. You're just a bit short there, Jeff. About $115 short.
Needless to say. Everything. I mean, he'll call me just out of the blue and go, "I had a customer I had to tell your story about." So now I am the running joke of Bethany Plumbing. I am the customer that paid $10 for $1.25.
You did kind of do this to yourself.
Please tell me you've taken something so literal that you've had kind of this. Please, I can't be the only one.
I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind right now, but I'm also the person that asked what animal we have on Groundhog's Day. So,
oh, yeah, that's right.
So it's not like, I don't know if that's the same vein, but it's not like I'm smart. We'll put it that way. Well, I'm not claiming that.
I have never said I'm smart, but you're right. If any other given time, if somebody said $1.25, I would know they meant $125. I would.
Would you?
I would.
Because a plumber said it to you and it didn't occur to you that they meant more than $1.25.
But because we're more like family, I thought maybe he was just cutting me one heck of a deal, and because it took him 2 seconds, and No, you just figured out his hourly rate. Well, and then, but on top of that, that's what I was going to say. I didn't even stop and go. Heck, his hourly rate, worst case scenario, is going to be like $90. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to get by with $1.25.
No, you walked right into that one. I can't help you. I'm just maybe it makes you feel better to know that we all do this.
See, I really need comments. Somebody please tell me that I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one.
You're not the only one, but you still said it. So you deserve to be thrown under the bus. I mean, we all get it. You still throw me under the bus for my stupid stuff.
That's true. What is that animal on Groundhog Day?
See, it's only fair.
I don't know. It's kind of like a groundhog, but I can't remember what the animal is.
Kind of looks like a prairie dog. Kind of looks like a gopher.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, yeah, I think we all do that. I don't think it's that uncommon. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't lead with this, and I will be surprised if it's not on your list to talk about later, but science has gotten down to the bottom of a big debate. Did you see it?
No.
The bottom of a big debate?
Wait, is this with your butt?
Whose farts smell worse? Men or women?
No. We're talking farts again?
This is our show, isn't it? What else would we talk about? That's why I was surprised. I thought this is where you're going to open.
Are they saying they did this study between men and women and they found out who is worse?
Yes, because this debate has raged on for years.
Women.
Okay. Yes and no.
See, I hadn't even seen this and I got it right.
There are no winners here. Apparently women's flatulence does smell worse. However, men release a lot more gas per toot. So in the end, it ended up being a wash because they couldn't pick which one they preferred. One was stinkier, but the other one, there's just so much more gas in there that they couldn't handle the longevity of it.
Wow.
So, we all lose. But I'm so glad that science is getting to... I wonder how much money was poured into that research.
Poured into that research? Yeah.
They said that they tested it more or less like these people had to fart into like a medical bag thing and then people had to smell it. How much would it take you to get paid to smell some farts?
Are you... No! Can you... You're sitting in a conference room passing these bags around going, yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, that's horrible.
Is that easy money or not? Are you working hard for the money or barely working for the money?
No, that's actually, I would say, you're not actually physically working hard, but no. You would have to pay me triple to actually sniff toots.
Your gag reflex is working hard for the money.
I mean, and that would be the other thing. If you're part of this team that's doing this and the person next to you just all of a sudden goes, bleh, aren't you going, I don't want to smell that? There used to be, I don't know if it's still out there. There used to be, and maybe it was a traveling exhibit. There used to be an exhibit at Science Museum, Oklahoma.
Where you could smell
stuff, like really bad stuff. And it was atrocious.
Well, with this one, at least you know you're getting all farts.
Oh. Women smell worse.
Well,
I can say women smell worse.
Somebody who's back into a bean phase, it doesn't smell good. I'll put it that way. It's not great. I got to acclimate my body again to all these beans. I didn't get the Beano. It's not great while my body's adjusting. Also got on a new probiotic. So it's probably a bad combination of things.
Oh, man.
Anyway, aren't you glad we got to the bottom of that? Bottom. See?
All right. I know last week we talked a little bit about some assembly required stuff, right?
Yeah.
Didn't we get to that?
Yes. If I read the directions before I put stuff together. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you ever start one of those kinds of projects and then you start going, I wonder how much it would cost.
Yes.
What you have someone come over and finish this?
Yes, I've had that thought. What did you get halfway through and decide maybe it wasn't worth it?
It was trying to help my youngest son assemble a shed. And it got to the point where you're trying to level the ground. I mean, there's all this stuff that goes into it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And my son had the brilliant idea that we could dig down and make it level. First of all, anybody that knows Oklahoma ground and knows digging, you can't do that unless you have, like, I don't know,
equipment,
mechanical tools to do it.
Yeah.
Jackhammer would be good.
Especially with the non-rain that we've had. The ground is just hard.
So I knew this was going to take forever. And I'm like, this is like a multi-month project at this rate. So I literally was going, what are we going to do? My wife comes out and goes, I wonder how much it would cost to have somebody come out and do this.
Yeah.
She starts trying to find out because we're to that point because I am losing my mind.
Right.
And I finally did say, I mean, we did figure out something that worked great. We ended up saying, okay, we're just going to buy bags of dirt and we'll fill versus dig.
Yeah. Yes.
That worked great. We were able to level it. The shed is good. But I was just curious, all this DIY stuff, are you, I guess, brave enough to admit you get to a point that you're going to be like, okay, I need to call somebody.
Oh, for sure you get into those situations because you can end up costing yourself more money by not spending the money to have somebody do something at some point. I'd love having somebody come by and finish painting my cabinets.
You still haven't got that
I was
done?
Smart enough to not get in the middle of it, though. I didn't paint like one door and be like, oh, crap. Now I really need to call somebody because I don't want to do this. At least I went halfway. It's at a logical stopping point so nobody really notices. But that was one of those, after doing all of the other stuff, I was like, we need to hire somebody to do the rest of this. I'm done.
That is too funny.
No, I think that's a pretty common situation,
okay.
too.
Again, in the comments.
Did you ever figure out how much it was going to cost if you hired somebody to come out?
I don't think we got that far because I finally just said, no, I got to figure it out. We're doing this.
Because my curiosity is, if you knew the price amount, then afterwards, would you feel more accomplished, feeling like, look at all the money I saved, even though you didn't really save any money because you didn't plan to hire somebody, and then you thought about hiring somebody, and then you decided to not hire somebody.
I will say the bright spot of buying the bags of dirt, they were only like $2 a bag.
Oh.
So that really wasn't, I mean, and I think we ended up buying like 20 bags. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Not too bad. Way better than having to dig in the ground. That's why that joke of like, I can see why people get caught all the time, why they murder people and try to bury bodies, because you just can't dig that deep, so they're all junk.
Well, yeah, because they're like, I can't dig any deeper.
That's how hard it is. Even if it's a life or death situation that you could go to jail for, they're still like, man, I can't do it. This is deep enough. We're calling it good here.
That needs to be one of the deals in the next like scary movie or spoof movie where it's like, I wonder how much it would cost to have somebody dig this hole so we put the dead body in it.
Excavate this for
That
us.
is funny.
Let's see. I had to do something this week that didn't seem hard on paper, but I want to see if it's difficult for you. And I'm actually going to time you and have you do it. I was at an appointment and I was told I needed to make 10 I am statement, or not 10 positive. I needed to make I am statements for 10 seconds, and they all had to be positive, like I am smart, I am kind, things like that about yourself that you believe about yourself. And I was just supposed to say as many I am positive statements about myself over 10 seconds. That felt like an eternity. And she said, I'm surprised how hard it is for people to come up with 10 seconds worth of positive I am statements. So I'm going to make you do this. I want you to say positive things about yourself for a full 10 seconds. See if you can come up with enough.
Okay, I started writing.
No, see, that's cheating.
Oh, man. Well, I only got down to 4.
No,
so
well, that's going to take up probably your whole... See, I shouldn't have warned you. I should have just had you do it up front because now you've already got them in your
do
head.
5
and
seconds.
That's not...
Do 5 seconds since I already have 4 written.
That's still not... I'm going to give you the full 10 seconds. Go.
Okay. I am kind, funny, weird, eclectic, interesting, goofy.
8 seconds.
Fun to be around. Whatever you said, funny.
See how long you paused between those, though?
Yes.
Because you ran out after the ones you wrote down. You're like, oh, crap. What else do I think my last one was like, I'm productive.
Oh, I am productive.
Like, man, I ran out real fast.
That's harder than you think.
I was like, it is. But isn't it kind of sad that it's hard for us to think up nice things about ourselves? And I went with the really generic, like, I'm nice. I'm funny. I think I went with the things that I think most people think about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't get it. But productive, I don't know that everybody thinks. Efficient, I think I'm efficient.
Oh, yeah.
Which some people would consider that positive. Other people wouldn't. But I work towards it, so I think it's positive. I just think it's interesting. Maybe we all need to practice saying more nice things about ourselves. Or at least knowing them off the top of our heads. Some things that we're proud of about ourselves.
I like that because I've been trying to tell you about we got to get this stinking thinking of ourselves out of our heads where we say, well, we're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not this. I like this exercise. I think we should spend more time talking about, like you said, I'm nice or I'm funny. I still think weird and eclectic are positives because I am a little different. I'm not on center. I'm off center. We know this.
Yeah, well, that's what I prefer. But I do think maybe this is a good exercise for all the listeners.
I agree.
Just set a timer. See if you can do it for 10 seconds. And then really try to think, like, there are good things about you. Find a handful of them that you just know off the top of your head. So you can just go back to it. Like, you know what? I am pretty smart, actually.
Wasn't this one of the things that was used in the movie The Help? Wasn't she telling the little girl you was kind?
Yeah, there is something like it's been I haven't watched that since it came out, but there is something like that.
See, we need more of this positive stuff.
Yeah. So I thought that was an interesting challenge that I didn't expect from my PT this week. Yeah, you got anything else?
I got one last thing. Yeah. And I just want to, I don't know. We were joking here that, and I'm wondering just how many people at work have this same thing about, does it always come this way when you have to make changes that you have to make like 17 million changes? I mean, we've had that here at the radio station.
I don't think that it always comes like that.
And it just feels like every time you turn around, there's something else like, oh, yeah, we got to, oh, that, oh, yeah, oh, well, no, now.
I can't explain what happened to life since February. I don't know. I was just looking back. I was like, oh, yeah, that was just since February. Everything is trying to change on me. And I'm just trying to roll with it as much as possible. I could use this change in a little slower succession. I'm not anti-change.
I'm not either.
Could you maybe I need my feet underneath me, and then you can change something else. I just feel like I can't quite catch up. I'm running right now.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I just need a moment to land on my feet, stand here a second, take a breath, and then go, okay, now what's next? I feel like it's just been, as you're walking, you get knocked to the left, and all of a sudden now we're knocked to the right, and then again to the left because we're making this, and one more time to the right.
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's one of those things where they're running across the thing, but the little things are falling out behind them. Like you're losing. You just got to keep going, and you got to go fast enough or you're going to fall off of the cliff thing. Yes. It's all disappearing. That's kind of what I feel like. So I don't know the point of that, but yeah,
I don't either. I just wanted to get that. Again, I keep saying, because, I'm trying to get more and more and more and more, and you guys are doing it. I see more comments pop up all the time. But maybe maybe if you know kind of a trick how to handle when everything is just piling on you.
Yeah. Seasons of change coming in quick succession have been a thing. I'll tell you what has been helpful for my nervous system. It's the thing that I can't stop talking about, Jeff. weighted blankets.
Oh my gosh.
Do you like a weighted blanket?
See, we've had this discussion before. I'm not a big fan of weighted blankets. Now, I don't mind like a blanket that has some weight to it, but not the actual weighted blanket. I feel like it's too heavy. But yet you were complaining about yours just the other morning.
What did I say about it?
You said because it's weighted, you can't wrap yourself around it perfectly because it falls off your shoulders because it's too weighted.
If you sit up and you're trying to throw it over your shoulders, it does. It's weighted, so it rolls off your shoulders. It's not the best for that. So I have to, put on a different blanket around my shoulders or put on a heavier shirt, one or the other. But for laying in bed, I think it's really calming. It feels like a big hug. I know there's 2 different types of nervous system. Some people feel like they're stifled and they're suffocating under a weighted blanket. I personally think it's nice and warm and cuddly and snuggly, and it's changed my sleep. So I can't stop singing the praises of weighted blankets.
So wait, are you sleeping better when you say it's changed your sleep?
Yes.
Okay.
Way better. I absolutely love it. So I'm singing the praises, and I'm doing this out loud because I was on the fence for a long time about whether I should get a weighted blanket or not, because they're not cheap. They're like $30 to $60 per blanket. That's crazy to me. But I would say after purchasing it, absolutely take my money. Now I want another one. Now I'm like, maybe I should up it. I got a 12-pounder. Maybe I should have got a 20-pounder.
Wait, you can get a 20-pound weighted blanket?
You can get a 20-pound weighted blanket.
That's like having a kid on you.
But without the moving and the breath that smells like cheese for some reason, that kind of thing. Okay, my niece eats a lot of Cheez-Its. Wow, her breath smells like cheese a lot.
I didn't see that one coming. If you saw the camera reaction there, I was like, wait, what?
Well, okay, that's specific to my niece who eats a lot of Cheez-Its, and then her breath smells like cheese.
Kids out there smell like cheese.
And then she gets in my face and breathes in it because she thinks it's funny. But the weighted blanket doesn't smell like cheese breath. That's another bonus.
I just can't imagine a 20-pound blanket on me. Wow.
Oh, by the way, my niece is in love with the weighted blanket too. So maybe this is a good hack for kids, because she was like, oh, I feel like I can't get up and move. And I was like, oh, look who's nice and calm now. Isn't that great? She's like, it feels like a big hug. I'm like, yes, perfect. It might hold your kids down for a little bit is what I'm saying. Bonus. And one other question that I have for you, Jeff.
I love it. How are you taking care of your kids? Oh, I threw a weighted blanket on them. It's 20 pound. It's a 20-pounder.
You got to put that 20-pounder.
They can't move. It's a 20-pounder.
It's not the worst strategy.
No, it's not the worst idea.
They just fall asleep after a while.
Yeah.
It's like a big hug.
Give them 10 minutes, they're out, baby.
Okay, I'm about to... we're going to take the next couple weeks off because I'm headed out of town, then you're headed out of town. And as you're headed out of town, you're not driving quite as far as I am. I got like a 10-hour drive ahead of me. You got any road trip prep that you do? Like, do you make playlists or find a playlist? Do you download podcasts? Are you getting snacks? Do you pick out different restaurants? Maybe you want to stop out on the way. We're going to hit this town about this time. Like how much prep do you do going into a trip?
It's funny. We don't really do prep, but once we hit the road, then it is, hey, we got to stop here and get loaded up on snacks because you got to have the right snacks. And one of ours, by the way, which kind of leads us back to one of the stories earlier in this cast. We love to do Fritos and bean dip.
Oh, that'll be a nice smelling car for you.
Oh, yes, it will. But so then you got to get those. But one of the things
Wait, are you going to the C-store because you're headed out of town? You're spending so much more money, Jeff.
I know. We're not smart about that.
Okay. What were you going to say?
But then you got to do what we do and play a game about when you, instead of looking ahead and finding a restaurant, you have to find a restaurant to stop at while you're out. And it's more of kind of Russian roulette because you really don't know what you're going to get. And you know what? I've heard the stories about if it's a busy restaurant, that's a good sign because that means it's good food and a lot of people eat there. That's not necessarily the case.
No, that's not always true. I've hit some real bad ones. I
have too, and they were packed.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why. Yeah, it follows logical sense. But
and I've done playlists before, but because Janet and I actually use road trips for a lot of talking, so we really don't have music playing.
Okay.
Something else we've also done, and it kind of made me think about you and me, how we used to do in here the games and stuff. We will play. We have these little games that are those kind of, you ask a question like, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse? Like, I'm just making this up.
Yeah, you can get a bunch of those conversation starter games.
Yeah.
Well, now you're just rubbing it in that you have people to travel with. I'll be in a car all by myself, so having a conversation's out, playing games is out. I don't necessarily want to go too by the seat of my pants because I need to be safe.
It's true.
On things.
Yeah, okay, it's a whole other... I wasn't thinking about...
So what you're saying is you don't travel by yourself often?
No. No, but when I do... Okay, now that you just said that, when I do make those, especially those lake trips by myself, there's definitely a playlist and it's cranked. There's...
Do you pre-plan it there? Or you just get in there and you
No, I just get in there and go, this is be a good one today.
Does it surprise you at all that I'm overthinking all of this? And I'm like, all right, well, which playlists am I going to have lined up? I do think I have the 10 hours there covered with the music. I have downloaded a couple different podcasts, couple first episodes to see if I'm going to be interested in some new podcasts, just dip my toes in on a couple. I don't really do the restaurant thing because I don't want to stop. So I'm just going to grab some
fast food.
If I'm by myself, there's no need to sit down unless I just really want to stretch my legs or something. That's a dangerous driving food, but it is delicious.
You knew that.
It is. So I don't necessarily care about the restaurants as much, but I will be getting the snacks ahead of time to save. I can't believe you guys do the C-store. Because you guys are such pre-planners, because you are procrastinators on everything. That's why I'm surprised by it. Because I do think a lot of people just stop by the C-store. That's why it's convenient. That's why they do it.
Exactly.
But for you personally, I'm just surprised because you're both pre-planners that you wouldn't have all your snacks pre-planned.
Okay, now you're making me feel bad.
Well, maybe I'm helping you plan for your trip this weekend.
I'm going to have to tell Jana, we've been doing it wrong. We got to do it right.
Well, take it as a pro tip and then have her make I am statements about herself for 10 seconds. These are my advice for you for the week.
Okay. We'll work on that.
And buy a weighted blanket too.